All right, there we go. Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of Think Business. Looking forward to talking with Brett Swarts. Brett, it's great to connect with you, founder, CEO, Capital Gain Tax Solutions. You're launching your book today. We're recording this live on April 20th, 2023. Building a capital gains tax exit plan, the proven playbook for unlocking your ideal wealth plan when selling assets of any kind for yourself or your clients. It's great. Congratulations. It's a great accomplishment to write a book. And so before we kind of dive into what the book is, because I think the title kind of really explains it really well, but we're going to dive into a lot of the pieces. I want to talk about the process of writing a book, right? Because I think everybody, I wrote a book many years ago and everybody asked, what was it like? I have a book in my head. I don't know, so just kind of take us there. How did the evolution of the book?
Yeah, good question. So I think the biggest thing is, do you have a passion for something that you're going to share that you think you can change people's lives, make an impact? So it's always going to start with that why and that purpose and that vision of whatever that is that you're doing. And then you're going to put it into a podcast, you're going to put it into a video, you're going to put it onto a blog, you're going to put it onto a website, and then you're going to hopefully maybe put it into a book. And so it was a natural evolution of what we were already doing with producing and creating content, educational, inspirational content to move people forward and take action. And so, yeah, with the book itself, I say hire the who, don't be the how. I hired a publisher to help me with that. Right. I've never wrote a book, and so I hired the people who help people write books. And so I was able to work with Seth Green and Bruce Chorus. If you don't know who they are, they're not the guy, maybe that's Seth Green you're thinking about from the movies. But he has a podcast with Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, and he does a lot of Kevin Harrington's marketing, right? And so I hired the best of the best to help me, inspired me to write the book. And so with that, I brought in, co-authors, right? Which I think is part of, I think that gets overlooked, right? Do people really want to read 300 pages of my thoughts? I don't know. But will they read, 60 pages of my thoughts and then, other thoughts of really smart people like Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank? He's in the book. Yeah. Like people like Neil Bawa and Don Winter and Joe Fairless and Don Winter. These are world class at what they do. And so they say get in a room with really smart people. Well, I got in a book with some really smart people, and we're talking about building wealth and deferring tax. And so it wasn't as daunting as one might think once you have the content, the vision, and a group to help you put it together.
Yeah. I love the whole philosophy of that. It is, giving people a collection of things, a collection of thoughts, kind of spearheaded by you, because somebody's got to lead the charge and lead the process of it. I think it's great. As you're talking, it reminds me, David Goggins' book, which is such a great book to actually listen to, because I think it was one of the very first podcasts where, the reader would read the book and then they would talk about each chapter after each chapter. And it was so much value add. This book is so value add, giving so many perspectives. So let's talk about some of the, extract some of the thing. So wait, I just have a quick question though. Is it Seth Green from Hollywood?
No, it's not him from Hollywood. People hear that and they think it's Hollywood Seth Green. It's not Hollywood Seth Green.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I just want to make sure. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about some of the, what you learned from some of these people writing the book, right? So you're writing the book with your wisdom. What wisdom did you gain from them?
Yeah, I mean, so the whole idea of the book too is capital gains tax solutions is when you exit, but what happens before you exit? And so, for example, someone like a Don Winter, who he wrote a book called Building Elite Organizations. In fact, it's my playbook for building my company now. But I had the privilege to get to know Don and see how he's built over 5 billion AUM multifamily syndications business. But more than that, inspiring an impact. He's an impact company beyond just creating and preserving wealth. And so just how he's done that with leaders, right? And he's a young guy. I mean, he's like my age, right? Still pretty young, right here, 38, 39. And so that was phenomenal to see that. And then to be able to see how to connect, not only doing really well with profits and returns, but also doing a lot of good at the same time. I think that's a rare skill set to be able to do and build. And he's been able to do that in a phenomenal way. And so that's Don Winter. And then you have people like Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, who's a billionaire, right? And he's been able to, or his now passion is to mentor to millions. He came out with a book. And so we really dive into what that meant for him and what that means. and to be able to give back and create and multiply leaders, entrepreneurs, to be able to make an impact. And then you go on to people like David Young, who's a worldwide economist, overcoming false beliefs with the deferred sales trust and what it can do for people, coming from someone like that who did a 2-year due diligence on it. So we weave in wealth, capital gains tax solutions, we weave in building an organization. And honestly, it's not just, tax. It's like, how do you build and preserve and create wealth within business and investments?
I love it. I love it. And so now let's talk about your wisdom in the book, right? You had mentioned whether it's 60 pages or not, but your wisdom coming from the book, and I know your expertise is the capital gains piece of it. So talk a little bit about building a capital gains tax exit plan. As somebody who's been doing this day in and day out. First, maybe you can start, Brett, by just kind of talking about in layman's terms what that is, and then maybe talk about the bigger picture.
Yeah. So the big problem for people when they exit is somewhere between 25 to 50% of their gain is going to be wiped out by depreciation, recapture, and capital gains tax, depending on what state you're in, depending on what you own. Also, even a C Corp can be as much as 60, 70% of your gain, because you have a lot of tax benefits up front, but then you can kind of get hit on the back end. And so the question is, what's going to happen with that wealth when you exit? And if you had that wealth, what could you do with it? How much more good could you do for causes you believe in, as well as building more businesses, building more real estate, impacting like the housing crisis that's happening in America, where you have 4 million units that were short and it's very expensive to build. But if you can unlock the capital to help spur economic, and development growth, you can change a lot of the landscape of what's going on. That's part of the $84 trillion that's going to transfer from one generation to the next in the next 20 years, which is even blew my mind. I just learned about this from actually Marcus and Millichap, John Chang. You may know John. And he did a talk at the Best Ever Real Estate Conference. I used to think it was like 32 trillion that's going to transfer, but it's actually 84 by 2045. And to think about that massive amount of wealth, to be good stewards with this wealth is to help, and the knowledge that we have is to help people to transfer and move the wealth in a way that not only preserves the capital gains tax, eliminates the estate tax, but can fund and build projects like multifamily affordable housing in places that need it the most, and so on and so on, create more jobs, do all of these things. So that's the big premise that we're working with. And so part of what I try to lay out in the book is what I'm talking about right now is having what's called a tax flow mindset.
Yeah.
It's not just cash flow mindset. And we've been taught it's cash flow is king, all of these things. Yeah, it's really important to create the wealth, really important to get passive wealth coming in to offset your expenses so you have some freedom. But what if you take a tax flow mindset and look at it as, hey, how do we be great stewards with the wealth that we've been able to create and earn, and pass it on to the next generation in a way that's going to impact society in a big way?
Yeah.
And that's through creating jobs. That's through, funding and building, I think multifamily real estate is a big one for us. But also, helping to end some of the debt crisis. I mean, it's now $32 trillion. How are we going to end that? It's not going to be through taxation. It's going to be through wealth creation. And part of that is unlocking the high net worth wealth that's tied up in stock market, primary homes, businesses from a lot of the baby boomers that are retiring, and be able to infuse that into different things that are actually going to create more jobs. And so that's kind of the flywheel that you start to learn about within the book, and how you as an individual, or if you're helping your clients, have a tax flow mindset beyond just cash flow.
Yeah, I love that. And so let's talk about you, right? Let's talk about, you're talking about what you can do with these, with the extra savings, profits, doing things and thinking things the right way. What's your mission in life? What are you doing this for? I know you always do things with deeper meaning. So, what is the core of your soul, that's taking from all this?
Yeah, I mean, I believe we've all been given certain gifts in this life, and these gifts have been given us to be a blessing, help to others. So the same reason to be good stewards with the wealth that each of you who are listening to create, it's the same reason to be good stewards with the gifts you've been given to help other people and bless them. And part of that is growing up in a family that had a little bit of the silver spoon, and then really kind of no spoon or wooden spoon, if you will. Parents were divorced when I was young. Lots of real estate, Bay Area. Everything was going great. Harleys, Corvettes, boats, all the wealth. Parents got divorced. And when that happened, none of the wealth went with my mom. And it was just say my dad didn't pay as much as maybe he could have or should have. And we were living with less, although I got to see on the other side what wealth was like. But really, what was real true wealth? Well, true wealth would have been you kept the family together, right? Would have been to help and make an impact in the community beyond just building wealth for the family. And so I was at a young age, I had an inspiration, if you will, or just a drive to say, I'm not going to let wealth come in between the family. And fast forward, I had a chance to go to Marcus and Millichap, study and practice multifamily brokerage, but then even saw people with wealth lose half or everything during the 2008 crisis. And so you start to connect these dots in your life, right? And then you come through and you learn about something to make an impact, and you say, hey, how do I take my experience? How do I take what I've been through and some of the challenges, and now use it as a gift to help people, right? Create and preserve more wealth with the specialized knowledge I've been able to learn from some amazing people. And so people ask me, are you CPA or tax trained? I'm like, no, I'm not, but I've studied and practiced under somebody for over 10,000 hours. And I have a unique skill set with commercial real estate. And now I'm just trying to take what I've been given an opportunity to be with amazing people to now make an impact and change people's lives through a structure and a strategy that's been proven for over 27 years, thousands of closes, billions and billions of assets sold, over 24 no change IRS audits. But still, every single day, people are telling us it doesn't work, it can't work, it won't work, or it won't hold up. And it's like, well, it's been batting 1,000 so far. And so I love the opportunity to come in, the fourth quarter. There's 30 seconds to go, and it's a big at stake deal, and be able to deliver on a high level for clients and to change the future of their family legacy with their wealth, as well as hopefully make an impact for the communities that they want to invest back into.
Yeah, I love it. Tell everybody where they can get your book and learn more about you, Brett.
Yeah, you can go to Amazon. If you're listening to this right now live, in fact, it's 24 hours. It's completely free for the Kindle version. We're giving it as a gift to you because you're listening to John's podcast. And John and I go back. John has coached and helped me grow in my business. And so, first of all, he's a phenomenal coach. If you haven't hired him yet, hire him. Number two, because of that, you're listening to his live right now. Go to Amazon and just go to your Amazon account and search "Building a Capital Gains Tax Exit Plan," and it's totally free for 24 hours just today. Okay, make sure you click on the below one. Don't get caught on the Kindle Unlimited. Go below, and it's free to download there. You can also go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com or search that in YouTube, and you have an opportunity just to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're bringing on guests like John and others like Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, talking about business, wealth, and how to build both.
It's great. Well, congratulations, man. It's great. I'm looking forward to diving into the book. I'm going to get my copy today, so thanks. Congratulations on that. Congratulations on everything. Here's to great continued success. I am going to do a quick speed round with you, though. You mentioned a couple books earlier, which were great, but is there another book that you've read that's had an impact on you?
Besides the Bible, the main business book right now, a leadership book and/or communication book, is Never Split the Difference. I just keep coming back to it, John.
So
I read it 5 years ago or whatever, and listened to it but here's the key. I took the master class. I don't know if anyone knows about this, but this master class is pretty slick. It's an app.
I took it. I'm taking it on masterclass.com.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Yeah.
I got it on my phone. Right.
Yeah.
And essentially it's this master class. And I'm a very visual, tactical, hands-on. Right. And this is literally the master class.
Correct. I'm taking it.
Chris, if you're listening to this, amazing job. Right. Yeah. Great job. Thank you. And I'm not even trying to exaggerate, John. I probably listened to it 25 to 30 times in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
To study and practice and then try to obviously put that into practice. It's one thing to read and to listen to audio, but then to see it and then to try to get your hands around it. Yeah. So I would just say Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference is the book, but better than that, do the master class Negotiation by Chris Voss.
Yeah, it's great. And so that can be found in community at masterclass.com. I have been a subscriber of Masterclass for a long, long time. I take a ton of their classes. They are great. And the Chris Voss one, I'm almost done with his. It's great. It's great.
Tell me a couple, John, that you like, because I honestly, I did the Steph Curry one. We're shooting. I played basketball in college.
I'm taking that one too. Right. So I'm going to tell. So the Steph Curry one I'm taking. Hold on. I'm going to tell you which ones. Oh wait, you know what? I just went to go click. Hold on one second.
It's fine.
I'm going to tell you some of the ones. The George Stephanopoulos one I thought was great. I took hold on, I want to go to my library. I took the Howard Schultz one I thought was great. Sarah Blakely, Bob Iger, the Chris Voss, Robin Roberts was great. George Stephanopoulos, I said. Richard Branson's was great.
Oh,
yeah. Coach K, I'm taking right now.
oh,
Kim Scott just launched. I'm going to take hers. I don't even really know who. There's another one, Esther Perel, I'm taking. But those are some of my recent favorites. There's a couple.
Oh man, I didn't even know that. See, I haven't even dig in. Like, I want to start digging. Coach K.
Wait, who's the? I loved it. Who's the race car driver? I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I took Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys, that sounds cool.
There is I wish I can't remember the race car. Anyway, the race car driver, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. His was outstanding. Yeah, they're great. They're great.
Thank you, John.
All right. Best piece of wisdom you've ever received.
Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work harder on your job, you'll make a living. You work harder on yourself, you'll make a fortune. And the idea, is to make a lot of money, hopefully to make an impact. More so, make a fortune within everything you're doing: your health, finances, fitness, faith, family, fulfillment. Like, work harder on those things that are eternal versus external. When you change and have that mindset and you're practicing those habits, you can't help but grow and flourish and thrive. And then you can make even a bigger impact for the community, for your family, for your business. So
it's great. Well, Brett, I appreciate it. Think community. Appreciate you listening in. If Brett's book will help you, you can check it out at Amazon. Tell them one more time where to get
building a capital gains tax exit plan. Right there. That is the name of the book. Just look that up. Yep.
All right. You can get it free on Amazon Kindle today. Brett, congratulations. All the best on everything. We'll definitely connect soon. Thanks so much.
Sean. Appreciate it. Take care.